Hi, Professor. Today I'm going to be presenting the benefits and risks of corporate social responsibility. So, what is CSR, or corporate social responsibility? CSR is a concept that sees companies take action to positively affect the whole of society as opposed to just the shareholders, partners, and employees who work with the company. CSR attempts to find a strong medium between profitability and positive societal impact for large brands and companies. And any serious brand should really consider adopting a CSR as they can help to build revenue, build brand awareness, and build brand legitimacy. Some of the benefits of implementing a CSR are opportunities for positive PR and good press, helping to shine a favorable light on the company, media recognition, increase in customer retention and loyalty, as well as increases in attracting and developing talent within the company. And finally, probably the most eye-catching and important piece of information here is increased annual revenue. Brands who invest in CSR regularly have a 6% higher market value and tend to generate around 20% more revenue in general. Of course, with benefits, there are going to be risks and pitfalls as well. Um, these include selecting a social cause that perhaps doesn't fully align with your brand's image or your company and the customer's values. Greenwashing. This occurs when a company centers their CSR around going green and helping the environment, but are kind of found out to be less than forthcoming with what their intentions are. And a lot of times they are found out to be just sort of doing it for to get the credit and not really doing much of what they actually had pledged to do. This is a great example of this is Volkswagen's clean diesel controversy, where they made a bunch of claims about their vehicles using cleaner fuel and less emissions and whatnot, and it just turned out to be sort of a marketing ploy, and they never had any intentions of changing anything that they were doing. And finally, companies with shareholders in different areas of the world, large companies, perhaps like Nike, where they have business dealings all over the planet. There's going to be different people with different cultures and different beliefs. So it's important to make sure you select a CSR that kind of encompasses everything as opposed to one that excludes maybe a certain group, as this can, of course, cause some internal struggle within the company. So some common CSR choices are going green. Amazon is a great example of this. They've pledged to be carbon neutral by the year of 2040, and they're making a lot of strides to do that. One of those is their recent partnership with electric vehicle manufacturer Rivian, and you can see the image here, and you might have seen a few of these on the road. I know I have. Um, they're planning to manufacture and then have an entire fleet of over 100,000 of these fully electric delivery vans on the road by 2030. So they're taking really big steps to neutralize their carbon footprint as best they can to keep their 2040 carbon neutral pledge. Um, Monetary donations is another really well-known one. Anheuser-Busch, great example here of a company that does this a lot. They've donated over $1 million to the Red Cross in recent years for disaster relief and a number of other things. And maybe the most interesting one here on this list is philanthropic capitalism, and companies that use the one-for-one model, such as Bombas. So for every item sold, Bombas donates another item to a homeless shelter. And it's interesting when we look at companies like this because CSR isn't important to them. It's quite literally the basis for their entire business model. So it's really interesting when you see the difference between um, a normal company versus companies like this where they have to stick to their CSR because it is so engrossed or entrenched in their company values. And finally, some consequences of failed CSR. One example would be Bud Light's 2023 controversy, where they partnered with trans influencer Dylan Mulvaney in order to show their support for the trans community, which is a noble cause, but they proved that they did not quite understand their consumer base as well as we may have thought they did. As many people who drink Bud Light are, middle class, perhaps blue collar Americans who tend to vote a little more Republican. This didn't go over well with their audience, and it led to large scale boycotts and their sales plummeting. And they still haven't fully recovered from this CSR blunder. Starbucks' Race Together campaign is another good example. This is an initiative that encouraged baristas to discuss race-related issues and topics with customers in Starbucks stores. And people mocked Starbucks online as they felt that the campaign trivialized the serious matter at hand, being racial issues and injustice in the country, as well as putting employees in a really unpleasant and uncomfortable situation. As some of them may not have been very comfortable talking about race-related issues in the workplace. So in conclusion, CSR is certainly crucial for large brands and helps them gain public support and trust with their consumers. And choosing the right CSR that aligns well with the brand's identity is vital. And misaligning with your brand identity can lead to a ton of backlash, sales decline, boycotts, etc. And despite challenges, the effective CSR strategy builds consumer trust, loyalty, and can increase business and revenue. And adopting a CSR plan helps brands contribute to society while also helping to increase and drive their own business. Thank you.